I'd like to call the meeting to order. Pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, can I get a motion to accept the consent agenda, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any thoughts, questions? Minutes, central office reports, contracts, and warrants. All right, hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Public comment. Okay. All right, Act 73 discussion, task force meeting of 10/22. All right, want me to start with that? Okay,
Yeah.
so I was there. Who else went?
I think there's a Kurt went.
I was there.
Oh, Kurt, you were there, that's right. Anybody else? Anybody, and people tried to
That
get
was the one that I
online.
tried to get on.
Yeah,
I
I
couldn't
got
get
online.
on. I spent a half
You
an
ended up
hour
being
trying
able
to
to
get
get
on.
online?
You got
Yeah.
it.
Who else
Yeah,
tried to get on?
John.
John, did you get on,
Link.
John?
I did.
Oh, you were able to get online
I never
eventually?
get on.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
My first 10 minutes online, I watched people walk around like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't get
Kurt
any-
was talking
Yeah.
with people and
Yeah,
it's like,
they did
A
a,
lot of
Now
feet.
smooth.
yeah, they did like a walk around. There's 4 stations where you could go and do different things at 4 stations. I didn't do the 4 stations, did you?
It reminded me a lot of an in-service session. I was having flashbacks.
Oh,
Is that a good or a bad
I was
thing?
gonna say, last
Don't answer that either.
Oh, goodness.
Mm.
So
Okay.
I don't know what you guys, anybody want to share their takeaway, kind of like of the whole night, other than the technical mishaps?
my feeling is that there was a lot of people out there that don't realize what the limitations in the actual job of this committee is.
Right.
You know, they're not
Right.
formulating policy. They're not deciding who's going to be school choice. They're just creating 3 maps to give to the legislature to let them do their thing. And I think that there was a lot of time potentially wasted trying to deal with some of those committee, those comments. And it's like, somebody from that committee should have set up, said, not my job. That's not what we have no say in this. This is what we're doing. You need to take this up with your legislator or whatever.
Yep.
So,
And it's 1 to 3 maps. It's not necessarily 3 maps, but out of the whole 145-page act, that redistricting committee, task force, makes up 8 pages of the act. And, but a lot of people who are in favor of the status quo were in favor of it because a lot of parents wanted school choice. That Chittenden woman did not. She's on the Barstow board, I guess. She's annoyed by school choice. But the parents want it. They want to keep it. And if that means we go ahead with this, or if it means we don't go ahead with it, or whatever, they just want that school choice piece.
And I learned that, and maybe I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, please, but I believe that written into the law is that the dollars can't leave the state anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that started this
Yeah.
year, yeah, unless it's a public school.
Right, so they can't
Right.
send them to, whatever,
Yeah.
I want to say Johnson Wales.
Go to
off the top of my
Phillips
head, but,
Exeter
at Phillips
anymore.
Exeter or some of those boarding schools, that they're grandfathered if they're already there. New students may not. So that's already thing,
Okay.
and I feel like people didn't understand that either. As they were
Right,
presenting, they did not know that they've already lost that, and that they're holding on to something that they've already lost. They're trying to hold on to something they've already lost.
and like with the in Chittenden, 50% of their kids that they're paying school choice for never graduated from the 8th grade
That's what she was saying.
in Chittenden, you know. It's
In
people-
Barstow,
in
yep.
Barstow. It's people that have seen that this is a community with school choice. We want our kids to go to Killington Mountain School or whatever. We're gonna move in. There's a lot of them that don't even own real estate or pay taxes. They're just, some of them may not even live there. They just rent a house, which is kind of common thing. So they pay the rent
Yep.
and let the kids go and,
Yeah, that's why she didn't like it.
Yeah.
Because it was really a drag on their budget
it is.
to be paying for kids that never even went through their school system.
But she was outnumbered like 50-1 by parents.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Who are
20-1.
there.
Yeah, who were there, yeah. Yep. Who didn't realize that their kids can't go to that Walnut School in Massachusetts anymore. Walnut Grove, maybe they had a little house in the prairie, I can't think of it.
Yeah. It's not Walnut Grove.
It's Walnut
Yeah, it was
Grove
something-
School.
yeah.
It's something like
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah. Yeah, it was, I agree. It was a lot of people wanting to maintain the status quo. And I'm sure we can all imagine who was not represented in that conversation. It was all the people that could drive there that night, had gas money to drive there, could be there the whole time, had people that either watched their children or one came and one went. There was a lot of people not represented in that conversation too.
Well, Zuckerman's from Heinsberg,
Yep,
and I think he's going to all of these.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's an informational session for them. It's a listening tour for them, but he's playing to us. And he's obviously going to run again.
yeah, he was there.
He lives in Vermont now.
What's that?
He lives in Vermont now. He wasn't a Vermonter.
Yeah.
He's not really a
Character.
farmer.
The character. So it was interesting. I don't know how useful it was for them, but I mean,
Yeah, there's
Like
only
this whole place
2
is-
task force meetings left
right.
before
They have to
December
make a
1st.
decision.
Because
Right.
December 1st is the day.
Yeah.
Coming right up.
Yep, and there are maps that you can click on their website that you can kind of see what maps they're already looking at. A CTE map has been presented, a BOCES style.
Yeah, it's just
That's
interesting,
presented.
some of those, that doesn't mean though that CTE map, there's really 13 districts. There could still be 119 districts
Right.
with that CTE map. So
Right.
you've got to really read the document
That
that's
goes with it.
behind it. And same with the high school, the regional high school concept. That's a 10-year plan. And you have, you need capital construction aid for the, I mean, like, there's a lot that goes into those. So you really have to read the supporting documents and not just be looking at the maps.
Now, is this task force also supposed to make a recommendation as to school district or SU?
Well, that's what they've been talking about as they develop the
I thought
maps.
I read somewhere
Yes.
where that was part of their thing, and it seemed like at the meeting, what I observed online, there were more people that spoke in favor of a school district versus a supervisory union. Granted, most of them were from Rutland City, and they were in the central office or whatever, but
So I think most of the testimony that the redistricting task force has received to date, and I have to go back and look, has been around the support of the SU structure, because the SU structure preserves school choice to some degree. And so there's been some lobbying efforts out there around preserving the SU structure. So I would say, from like the Superintendent's Association, from a lot of those associations, we believe overwhelmingly, besides for maybe a couple of people, that the SD structure is the correct way to go. That's the only way that you can achieve efficiency within a system, is what the belief is. I mean, it's certainly my belief, having worked in 2 different SUs that went from an SU to an SD structure. SU structures are wildly inefficient, in my opinion and my experience.
yeah, I mean, it seems like going, for those that have made the transition to a school district, going back to SUs would be a step back into, 2 centuries ago almost. It's just,
Yeah, when I just think about the savings that we've been able to gain just in terms of personnel And I mean, what would our cost be today if we were still in an SU structure? It'd be well exceed from what we currently have based on what we're coming out of finance with. I mean, just since we've been an SD structure, you know, we have reduced more than 40 positions probably if I include the positions that we're talking about for next year. I mean, that would not happen in an SU structure.
Do you know of an SU recently that has succeeded in sucking in an SD? Because I haven't heard it. And
I haven't, I'd have to think, not that I'm aware of. I'd have to think about it. I don't think so. Not in this area anyway.
I mean, Greater Rutland sent that letter out trying to go that route, and one that kind of sort of bit was Rutland Northeast, but they just opened the whole can of worms because they're like, well, we'll just absorb, you know, we'll absorb Proctor High School and be happy with that. And it's like,
So I like numbers, and we are the 4th largest county student-wise. Pretty interesting. Obviously, Chittenden's 21,000, right? Duh, we all knew that. Central, which is like Montpelier area, those guys are a little over 8,000. And then also Northwest Area District, which is like the New York border, Canadian border, up there in that corner, St. Albans area, they're 8,000. And then us, it's then Rutland County at 7,100. So, and then it quickly drops to 2,000s for a lot of the other counties, like really quickly drops off after the 7,000.
they've got a 22,000 student district in Chittenden. And I asked Scott Beck about it, and I said, that's a little bigger than the legislature has tasked you to construct. He said, there, 22,000 students with 2 CTEs to choose from. He said, what would be wrong with that?
Yeah.
And I couldn't answer him.
I know. No, interesting. We're still so small comparatively, right? Outside of our little boundaries.
yeah.
So anyway, so we'll see what that December 1st is the deadline, right? That they have to have these maps to the legislature. So our eyes are peeled. I'm on the wrong one. Here we go. Let's see. Anybody else Act 73 before we move on? All right. Vermont School Boards Association. So this is me. So I must be remiss, and I don't know if any of you guys noticed, but I read their stuff, but I am so unaware of what is going on out there with Vermont School Boards Association. And so there was a business meeting on October 23rd that we all could have gone to, okay? And I had Brooke attach this document to your pile of documents because they reached out to me as the board chair and they're like, why aren't you coming? Nobody signed up from your district. And I'm like, oh, what are you talking about? And so I was able to jump on and follow through. So what I should have done is I should have known about this and brought this to you guys. Then you would have picked a delegate from within us or me to go and actually vote on this
I did read
document.
That went out. And we
Yes.
did read it, but I was like, we don't have.
Yeah, that was the
But we could've.
question you asked. But
We
Yes, I
could've.
asked about that.
So I have it on my calendar for September next year to pay
Okay.
attention that it's going to come down the line to get this, to bring it to you guys.
Okay,
But we've
good.
never done it before.
What
Or
sorts
it's
of
never,
things do they vote on?
what?
What sorts of
Well,
things?
that's
do
why
they-
I wanted to bring it up. So I was going to share it with you guys. So there's this annual business meeting. So basically when you got on the meeting, you could only see the delegates. If you weren't a delegate, then you were unseen and unheard. You were literally just watching. So my picture wasn't on the screen or anything like that. I could just listen. And then the delegates were the one that talked about everything and voted on everything. So anyways, out of the 52 school districts or the 52 that could be there, 28 were there. So we weren't the only ones not paying much attention. So it was 28 delegates. To pass anything, you need to have 60% of the delegates present. So you needed 17 people to pass something. Okay. So we were 54% representative of the state at this meeting, which I thought was interesting. All right. So they do a president's report. We accept that. Flor Diaz-Smith is the VSBA president. She called them to order. They went over the minutes from last year, et cetera, et cetera. There's a president's report. And then there's an executive committee, it's executive director's report, which is Sue Siglowski, which I think we all kind of, sometimes she signs most of the stuff that we get. So Sue's the executive director. There was that report. And then her report was like 5 million pages. Then there's a treasurer's report that tells you kind of like, which was, I thought was super interesting, how much they collect from people using their services, how much they pay out. They also have investments, how much they made on their investments. So kind of like a state of their treasury, which I thought was interesting. Then came the resolutions report, okay? So remember, we've been asked at certain times to like write a resolution. You can write a resolution to the VSBA. So basically, anybody who wrote a resolution to the VSBA about anything that they were concerned about, the resolution committee took that resolution, they read it, and then they made a suggestion for how they felt about the resolution. 3 choices: pass as a continuing resolution, take no position, or pass as a regular resolution. So they went through all of these 11 resolutions, each one, and the delegates voted whether these resolutions should be passed. The resolutions were super interesting as well. Universal school meals, a resolution to continue those. And I will say the point of the resolutions is this is the stance that the VSBA takes in the legislature for the school boards. All right. So you can imagine that task when you have us as a school district, Greater Rutland as a supervisory union. If we each write resolutions, there's got to be some decisions made about what are they going to present to the legislature in support of school boards. So it's a little challenging in my opinion. But it did school meals, local control of public schools and building on existing work, school funding formulas, statewide teacher contract. So I can go through and tell you. So the resolution on universal school meals passed 26-1. The one on local control of public schools building on existing work. In other words, they want them to keep it the same as possible from what they have now is basically what that one was. That one did not pass. 13 yes, 11 no, 5 abstentions. They announced that abstentions meant you wanted to take no position, like you didn't want to vote. You didn't want to publicly say how you felt, which I don't believe that that's what an abstention is by definition. I thought an abstention was a conflict. So I felt this was very interesting that 5 people did not want to take a position in public on this resolution by abstaining.
I feel bad we weren't a part of this.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's why I'm bringing it to you. I agree with you 100%. So 13 yeses, 11 noes. That one did not pass. Then there is school funding formula. That one passed everybody. Then there is statewide teacher contract. That one passed everybody. Then there was vaping on school grounds.
Statewide teacher contract, what passed?
The resolution that they want the VSBA, that any action taken by the Vermont General Assembly regarding a statewide teacher's contract include an in-depth cost analysis benefit with the financial impact on the lowest spending and highest spending school districts. In addition, a study should be made of the efforts and best practices used by other states to manage teacher contracts in light of cost efficiencies and education outcomes, and that no move to a statewide teacher contract be enacted without a detailed demonstration of how it will provide cost savings and better student outcomes.
Thank you.
So they're not necessarily for it.
Correct.
Would you say that language is maybe against it, that was written up by Chittenden County?
It was written up by Lakes Region Union High School Board, Lakes Region Elementary Middle School Board, and North Country Supervisory Union. It's North Country. Put that one forward. Yep. And it passed. Like 100%.
Well, it's actually the rural schools that would have to pay more.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. Vaping on school grounds was to, they wanted to restart the Advisory Council on Wellness and Comprehensive Health. This one is also North Country because they've seen a lot of vaping and they want the state support in that. So that was that one. This is supporting in the value and, so here, the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 were basically all around small school consolidation and not wanting it. So supporting the value and contributions of a small community elementary schools from Peacham. That one passed 23-2. Then there's one from the actual resolutions committee that tried to usurp all of these by saying the VSBA supports a process for all communities to be served and represented in their values, so that these all seemed kind of redundant after that one, which was kind of, no, before even Peacham. So that was interesting, because then the whole conversation was, why did you do that, resolution board? Because you just usurped all of our consolidations of schools. So then there's one from Wyndham Southeast. I now know Wyndham is down in Brattleboro, right?
Mhm.
Brattleboro.
Yep.
Brattleboro. So Wyndham Southeast, theirs did not pass, so they kept voting on them. Then there's Ludlow Mount Holly, theirs did not pass. Then there is Wells Spring, theirs did not pass. And Lincoln School District, theirs did not pass.
Well, the last four
Peacham
wasn't
did?
that they didn't pass, they took no position.
Correct. In other words, they're not going to use these in their things because of the resolution that the resolution board put together.
Well,
So,
one thing that would be helpful in this document, if you click on any of the links for what these resolutions were, you have to request access as either an editor, a viewer, or I forget what the last one.
yeah.
Commenter.
Viewer,
Yeah, viewer, commenter, or editor.
like you can't see this whole part?
Nope.
Oh, because this,
Yeah,
okay,
yes,
I
you
can.
can, yeah, it's you gotta scroll, it's towards the bottom.
Oh, you got to keep scrolling. I was going to
Okay.
say, because
I just
I
followed along.
printed it out.
Okay, I
All right.
mistakenly went to the links.
Okay. Well, I printed it all
That
out.
would be-
So,
Yeah.
and then
That would make
there,
sense.
and then there are recommendations for current resolutions, and they have a whole list of ones from previous years that were passed as continuing or current, and they voted on those as an entire slate. They didn't go through them all. And they deleted some of them, like they deleted one about school district innovation zones, and I don't know, they deleted a whole bunch of them too. Flavored tobacco products, things like that. So there was removals and continuings and all that kind of stuff. But it basically shapes how they go to the legislature on behalf of school boards, okay? So I thought it was interesting. I'm sorry I missed the memo that was supposed to bring this to you beforehand and then lend a vote to it in the delegate phase of that. So, yeah, that's what that was. It was interesting. But I just listened the whole time and just kind of wrote notes down. But I do not envy the Vermont School Boards Association right now because there's no consensus. They've got a lot of people that believe a lot of different things and 54% representation as well. So not only are they in a challenging position, they don't even have the representation of everybody when they do these things, which is interesting. So,
well, thank you for doing that, Julie.
no problem. So I will have it, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be board chair, but whoever's board chair, I have it on my calendar so that we can pay a little more attention, bring these two, and then be able to go actually vote on them. Because all of Rutland County was there with us.
No.
So, yeah, they all-
Embarrassing.
a little bit. I mean, I typed in the chat, I'm here
We've
just
never
not
done it
voting.
since I
No,
worked
I
in this
know.
district.
Well, I'd asked about that.
Yeah.
How do I get up?
Yeah.
Next year.
Yep.
We'll be there next year.
So Julie, just as an FYI, according to the Oxford Dictionary, an abstention, an instance of declining to vote for or against a proposal or motion.
Okay. So, and then one lady spoke up. I don't know, were you on there or not? Did you go
I
to
tried
this?
to get on. I couldn't
You
get
couldn't
on.
get on?
No.
Okay,
I-
all right. Well, one lady spoke up and said, I'm so confused. She's like, at our school board, abstentions mean yeses. What? No, she said this.
No.
Abstentions mean yeses. So when people abstain, we count them with the passing versus non-passing. And I was just sitting there going, what? I'm like Googling Robert's Rules of Order. Can that be true? It can't be
Send
true.
her a Robert's Rule copy.
Yeah, I know. It's like, whoo, all right. So that was the Vermont School Boards Association. Then there was the annual conference that I did go to just recently.
No, you did or didn't?
I did go to that one with
Was
Brooke.
that,
Thank you.
You guys could have all gone too.
was that $350?
315, I think. But yes, it was $300 something dollars.
It's still pretty expensive
No,
for a
the-
conference.
Yeah.
We would, the district.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the
For you,
district would
sorry.
pay for it.
Yeah, you don't have to pay.
If you
for it.
guys want to go.
I'm not spending.
I've been to a lot of conferences and none of them were $315.
Well, the food was not $315 or the good food. That's beside the point. Okay. So what?
Last year?
Yeah, but
Yes.
this year it was,
So this
And
year,
it's, and how much do we pay in dues? Like 1,300 or something like that?
no, more than that.
Way more.
More-
Way more
way
than
more
that,
than
I
that,
thi- I
okay.
think.
Way more.
Well, you'd think they'd give us a free ticket or two, you know?
yeah, right.
Seriously.
Yes,
I
no,
mean,
I-
Yeah, no.
15
I-
You know
after
what?
we pay.
I hear you. So this was, all right, look, I've been to a lot
Bring
of
up a
conferences,
resolution next year.
right? Good idea. I will put that in my notes. So I've been to a lot of conferences and I always take away something. Okay, I always take away something.
So what'd you take away?
Well, this was the smallest takeaway I've ever had in my entire life. I'm just gonna
I
say.
feel that coming.
Okay, small takeaway. We didn't talk at all about Act 73.
What?
And I have not given them my feedback yet because they sent me an email with questions where I'm just respond to the email. So I need to, choose your words carefully when you're not taking an anonymous survey. So I haven't answered quite yet because I had a busy day today, but I will do it tomorrow. But
Tell them 315 is too high.
it can be one of my things, and I don't have a problem with that. First of all, one of the big takeaways was that I sat at a table with Danville. And Danville has been in the paper recently about closing their high school.
Yes.
So I was sitting with, well, not particularly Danville, but Danville people and St. Johnsbury Supervisory Union, okay? Now, St. Johnsbury Supervisory Union is just a pre-K through 8.
Right.
Then they have St. Johnsbury Academy, which is private public, which are not part, right? Then they have Danville, which is nearby. So they send all their high school students to mostly those two schools. They are so upset that Danville might close because of who takes their students. In other words, like who doesn't take their students is the real side of that conversation. So what I found valuable is we sit down here in Western Rutland County with our Western Rutland County problems in our little Western Rutland County, and we really truly have no idea some of these things that are happening in our state, in our counties with some of these school districts and the things they're going through. So it was really nice to hear somebody else's perspective and story about what's going on in their school district with this kind of consolidation thinking in our population.
Justa Careless wrote an op-ed in the Times-Argus, maybe 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think Digger,
And
Digger published it too.
that was, okay, that was her example, was Danville and St. Jay.
Yep. So that was nice to hear. It was nice to hear. And I kind of questioned them. I poked them a little bit. You guys know me. I poked them a little bit. Like, it's such a small school. Like, why? What? I don't understand. They're like, no, you don't understand. If they close, who will take our students? Because the next school is so far away. So it was me not understanding and asking questions and getting a kind of an idea. So that was interesting. And then some other takeaways is that there was a lot of conversation, in my opinion, about they talked a lot about why are you on the board? That was like a consistent question they asked at all different phases. Yeah. Why are you on the board? Why are you on the board? Why are you on the board? What's your agenda? What is your personal agenda sitting on the board? What does it mean when you're elected to a board? Who do you represent? Who don't you represent? What are you being elected into? So some of the takeaways of that are we're elected to a board, therefore we're elected as a liaison between the community and the professional educators. It is a naturally collaborative position. And then they did say, you are not elected as a representative of specific people. Like that was the takeaway. You are elected as a liaison between the community and professional educators. It is a naturally collaborative position. I thought that was interesting. Take that you can process that how you will. Why aren't you on the board was a repeatedly asked question. I did come away with, when creating a survey, you should really only have 4 choices, because 5 makes people say pick the middle every single time. That was just for my brain for in the future. I took that away. I'm only doing 4 from now on.
Or not a number.
Right?
Right, not an odd
Yeah.
number, sorry.
Right, not an odd number, because
Anyone.
everybody picks the
Right.
middle.
You don't want.
So you get no results for your survey. Anywho, when someone is upset about something like CRT or DEI, they really recommend that you drill down with why questions to get to a specific reason. And I thought that was interesting too. Like, okay, DEI, what upsets you about, what are you concerned about? Are you concerned about the D, the E, or the I? Okay, I'm concerned about the I. Why are you concerned about the I? What about the I is making you concerned? That you know what I mean? So really drilling down into like asking why questions when somebody comes with a big idea or a big thought or a big concern to a group. I thought that was interesting. I kind of did it to my husband. Like, I gotta practice this on you. Why are you concerned, right? And it makes the person really drill down and think about like, what is the real reason that this big overarching thing is bothering you? Or why you bring it. So I thought that was interesting. And then when I said this in the finance committee, despite Act 73, it is important to keep our school districts robust and relevant. I heard that from a lot of board chairs. That's what they're trying to do. How do you keep your school district robust and relevant in this ever-changing, shifting kind of feel that we have right now? And it was a reminder to focus on what we do. What we do here, what we do day to day, and try to not let that kind of overarching stuff get in our way of what we're trying to do for students and student outcomes here at Slate Valley. So those were my takeaways. That was it. Other than that, the food was meh, and it was the same thing over and over. Why are you here as a board? Was like, by the time I got to the third thing, I'm like, I'm not going to tell you again why I'm here as a board. Like, come on, right? Like, it was very repetitive, and the guest speaker, well, the first guest speaker was all about himself. That was really hard to listen
Who was
to.
it?
Oh God, Marty.
Somebody from Washington State.
Yeah, who basically told us all of why he was so wonderful.
So were they sort of just steering you away from what's really happening then? Like,
No,
keep
that's not
asking-
No,
Typically
I
what
thought they
it
were
is.
tone deaf. I think they planned a tone deaf conference.
Okay.
They're scared.
Well,
They're
it
too
could be
scared.
they didn't want to.
They don't want to have
They
those,
don't
they don't want to have
wanna
that
have
debate.
You gotta have hard conversations if you're
Because
gonna
that
get to the end of
wasn't
it.
what
Yeah.
Patty and I went last year, and
We
it
went
was,
last year and it wasn't.
wasn't
Yeah.
like that.
I just
It
think
was
that if you think
different
about the
this year.
flavor of
Right.
what's going on right now, think
They
about
did
what those
not wanna
conversations
go
could
there.
be. And they don't want people
Like they
at
had
this
training
level to
like
be,
step
you know,
up to conflict.
Yeah.
I've already done that training. Like, I mean, like they had training that we've
Yeah.
already done
Yeah.
too. So
Okay. Yeah.
But not even roundtables or networking, or why don't you find somebody not from your county and go sit with them, right?
Right.
Nothing like that even, where they're like, we're encouraging. That's where you learn your most, I think, is from other people in similar situations who want to share. You know what I mean?
And
So, but
ideas,
none of that
absolutely.
either. None of that either. So it was, like I said, I always come away
Well,
with
I'm glad I
something.
didn't
but-
spend your 315 or
Yeah.
whatever it was.
Yeah. So again, though, it will be on my thing because basically the board chair and the superintendent were Thursday afternoon. There was like
Right.
a pre-conference
I see that.
thing.
we're required to do
Right, I
8
see
hours
that.
of training a
Right.
year, so
Right,
this
I see
counts as their requirement.
And then the next day, school board members came.
Right.
So it was superintendent, board chair, and then school board members came. I mean, I know some people from the Rutland City School District, so I recognize them coming in. So there were some other people there. It definitely got probably not doubled in size, but probably added 2/3.
Oh, yeah.
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 So it was, yeah. There was more people there. for the second half of it. So those were the two VSBA things that we did recently. Any thoughts or questions?
Where was it?
Burlington, just at the I think it's now
Doubletree.
called a Doubletree. It's been Hilton, it's been Sheridan, now it's a Doubletree.
Do they move it around or is it always?
It was in Lake
It was Lake
Maury
Maury
last year, but it got too big and they couldn't house us this
It had
year.
been at Lake Maury though for
It's
many
always
years.
been at Lake Maury. This is the first year of the fall
You can't get
conference.
there from here.
What, Lake Maury?
Lake
Yeah,
Maury.
No,
That's a
but
pain in the
yeah.
rear.
yeah.
yep, so yeah. Any other thoughts? All right, district quality standards evaluation.
So this was in your packet. This is the first year that I am required to submit, a self-evaluation of our district as to where we fall with these district quality standards, and specifically for you all to look at the governance standards as it pertains to you, what we're now required to do as a school board, right, through governance. And the idea is we probably know we're not proficient, in some of these out of the gate, but that over the next couple of years, we'll work to proficiency. I do, struggle a bit with, well, if this board doesn't exist in 2 or 3 years, I'm not sure what we're working towards. Because this is, a lot of this also relates to policy governance. And a couple of years ago, we did talk about possibly becoming a policy governance district, but that takes a tremendous amount of, effort and professional development and work on all of your parts. And I'm just not sure that's something you would want to commit to or not at this stage of the game. And so this is due, I have to submit the report by, I think, the 21st of November, and I'm going to be meeting with the central office team to look at our other areas. But I guess, for me, wanting some feedback from you all onto where you think we are with these, or do you want me to work with Julie, or how do you want me to get the feedback in these areas? I mean, I think
How's that gonna work best for us? What's your suggestion?
I mean, it's the first time,
it's the first
No.
time.
right? So
No.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Would it make sense for us to do it like, throw some feedback on a document and then you and Julie could go over it?
Yeah,
So
if you
that we
want
all
to
did
maybe,
individual,
Yeah.
Want me to send
Email
out a
me.
Likert
Shared
scale with
document
4
kind of
choices?
yeah,
Well, I'm just thinking if it was a shared document,
Yeah.
then we don't need the redundancy necessarily, because you just want some feedback, right? But then at least.
yeah, I
you can
just
see
want some
bullet
feedback
points of
because,
feedback and then,
Yeah.
sometimes it's hard with just two people, I mean. to-
yeah, and I'll certainly ask the central office
Yeah,
folks
yeah.
too, but I think it's important, the governance priorities
Yeah,
are
they're- yeah, right.
that's your role, right? Like,
Right.
so I think.
Yeah.
you
So
need to be
basically,
involved in that.
would we take a governance standard and put it on a piece of paper and get feedback? So we
Yeah,
have,
that's fine.
each standard would have its own thing, and you just plop some bullets in there and.
You just put a
and-
column like at the end, and we just put anything.
Well, I would think
you
it'd
know.
just be a blank sheet with that on the top and just bullet that maybe
Wait,
for each one. Right?
electronically?
Oh, yeah, it's a shared document, like a Google
Oh,
doc.
yeah.
as a
Yeah,
Google
well,
doc.
you were saying, so I was thinking poster.
Oh, poster.
That's why I
yeah,
was
no.
like, when are we doing this?
No sticky note poster.
Okay.
No.
Well, there's more than one, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It
that's why,
starts
what
on
I was saying,
page
Julie, is you've got like kind of
15.
number one, and then,
Yeah.
you put some bullets, and you don't have to put them if it doesn't.
It goes,
talk to
you
at all,
basically
yeah.
have 15 pages of
Right.
this.
That's what I thought I read, that's why I was like.
That's why I'm asking you.
I would want somebody.
I don't think we want to openly discuss this with
No,
18 people,
no.
each one, but,
Oh my gosh, we'll be here till 2:00.
Mhm.
No, we don't want to do that.
so you want me to create a Google Doc?
Yeah.
And you guys are gonna write comments on, well, that would be an
That's a lot for you guys
electronic
to go
meeting. You'd all have
Oh.
to do it individually.
We wouldn't be able to see each other's?
No, you shouldn't. That's an electronic
be a-
meeting.
Oh,
It's a
man.
violation of open meeting law.
Have to to go to sticky note posters.
Unless you want me to do it with the executive committee somehow. That's one person from each town. I don't know. You tell me.
I feel comfortable with you and Julie doing it.
Coming down to that.
Chris is saying what everybody's thinking.
Or at the very least, I'm very comfortable with the executive committee doing it well.
Okay.
I don't think it's not about being comfortable. I meant that it's a big burden on Julie to just
Well, it's a lot to sort
she's
through.
doing it
Yeah.
now. I mean, she's the chair, so, but having been the chair last year, I know it's a lot of work to do all that yourself. So if you have some feedback from the whole group, it's really nice to kind of work with that. But I totally agree that Julie.
How
could
about
do it on
this?
her
I
own
mean,
if she
Brooke and I
wanted.
can put together like our initial response and share it at a meeting for then you guys, I don't know.
We don't have a
We don't have
meeting.
time.
Oh, we don't have a meeting because it's November 21st. Oh my
Just do the
goodness.
executive committee, because then at least you have.
Yeah, but then we have, let's just do can we do an executive committee electronic meeting?
No.
We get the same
No, this
problem.
is what I'm thinking. I could send I can get individual feedback from each executive committee.
Remember,
Remember,
This is
that's
only
only
like 5
5 people,
okay,
and then we can collate it.
okay. Okay. I mean, some of it's pretty obvious,
Yes,
beginning.
yes.
We haven't gone much past beginning, so it's not like I gotta read them all to know what I'm doing.
Because this is based on a policy governance district and we're,
Right, but all
We're
basically you
not-
have to
we're
do
not.
though, is you have to choose whether we're beginning, approaching, proficient, or advanced.
correct.
You don't have to give a lot of detail.
No, I don't.
All right, I can do that.
Okay.
Got it.
All right, so are we back to just you doing it?
Yeah, it's not that hard, you guys. It looks easier. It's more, it's
Comfortable.
Okay.
bigger than it looks right now. We'll just bring back to you kind of what
The
we decided.
results,
Yeah,
and
the
then you
results,
can-
and then you guys can laugh at us if we pick the wrong one. and think we're nice. All right.
Well, it's really what you're going to do to improve the results for next year.
So
Got
if we
it.
all
What we
start
need
at
to
the
talk
beginning,
about.
we can only improve. There you
I
go.
like
That
it,
is
Jamie.
correct.
I like it.
Growth mindset.
I like it. Yeah, that's awesome. Perfect. All right. Okay. Is that all for that one?
Yeah.
All right, committee reports, finance, that's me too, because I ran the finance meeting. All right, but I didn't take any notes. All right, but I just had it, so I can remember. All right, so we talked about the first, very drafty draft of all drafts, the first budget draft. All right, so full well know that this is a draft. I'm gonna say it again, it's a draft. It's the draft of the draft. All right. So we talked about the expenditure budget, and this is where we start really talking about looking at last year, looking at this year. Where are we now? What do we want to propose? What is out of our control? Vast majority. What is in our control? Small amount. And then start going from there. So Cheryl, I recommend if anybody wants to see specifics that they actually go on our meeting minutes and see the things that were handed out. So I'm not going to go over them all, but we do have a very great budget to actual sheet that will be posted that has very specifics on it from each year. And then we also have a document that kind of starts looking at options for us to kind of be looking at with amounts of money and percentages. Again, I'm going to say it again, draft of the draft, because we do not have all our information yet. This is pretty typical of a November finance meeting. We do not have all our numbers. We don't have our long-term weighted average daily membership number. We do not have all of our local revenue numbers down. Like, there's a lot of unknowns.
Gathering your ducks, we don't have.
Correct.
Order yet.
Correct.
We're not in a row.
Correct.
Not in a
They
row.
are not in a row. But it was, we shared things about federal funding, whether we're going to have it or not, how much, we don't know how much we're going to have or not have, understanding that all, what positions in our district are funded by those federal dollars, how we're going to handle that, what we're going to do. proposed personnel changes and looking at our makeup right now, what we're doing right now, what we see for next year. So it's just a really beginning conversation about the budget. But again, if people want specifics, definitely go to the minutes of the meeting and they can see the documents there. That's it. Unless anybody else has anything they want to say about finance committee meeting.
Good.
All right. All right, so. Oh, man, I keep losing my agenda.
Executive session.
Yeah. Oh, we have an
Well,
executive
agenda
session.
building.
Agenda building.
And public
Okay.
comment.
We got public comment yet.
Oh, yeah, public comment. Again.
Nobody online.
Nobody online?
No.
Okay. All right, agenda building. We have policy, no, we have no policy, we just have buildings and grounds next.
No, you're gonna have some policies
Policy
to
too?
approve.
Okay.
The policies that you won last
Oh,
week
yeah.
will be up for approval.
Right, but we don't have a policy
No, you
meeting.
do not have a policy meeting, but there's a building and grounds meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything
And
else?
the next meeting is also a presentation on Cognia, which
Oh.
is Casey and his team.
Yep. Yep, which is our standardized,
Test.
statewide standardized test. Okay.
We're gonna get some sample test questions and
Ooh,
we're all gonna try them out.
nice. All right. Anything else that we can think of?
No, we might have some executive sessions, but I'll let you know.
Okay. All right. So now I need a motion to go into executive session for personnel, please, with me, with Brooke. That's it.
So moved.
Second.
All right, so that was, who seconded you, Glenn? All right, awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time and
Thanks, guys.
attention.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Bye.
it.